This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hey everybody, welcome to another Paint with Rob. Today we are painting from the game Hate. Something that we are going to paint and we are going to give away to a charity. Well, we're actually going to auction it off and all the proceeds will go to a charity. I'm excited to get working on this. This is a really interesting project. These bigger figures are just very detailed. So I'm going to show you the easiest way that you guys can put these together and get this going for yourselves. And we're going to, each guy, we're going to do a video for. Some may be one part or two parts, it depends. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to keep on building a catalog until we finish this game and then we auction it off. And this way, those of you that have the game have a good blueprint and a beginner blueprint. Not a bunch of guys sitting around, you know, expert painters confusing the hell out of you. I want to make this very simple and make it easy. And, you know, we're going to bring the quality back, but we're going to also make it so you can paint it and make it very, very easy for you to accomplish. All right, let's go down the table and start painting. Okay, so we're down at the table here. We're working on our first guy. Now listen, I took some lead belcher and I put it on this brush here. And as you usually know, I usually take a bunch of it off. So I'm working this piece of paper here, those of you that have watched before. Now all I want to do with this guy, and I want to just very simply just touch him ever so lightly with this. I don't want to lose a lot of the black because what we're going to do is we're going to bring out this silver later on, this lead belcher later on. And what I want to do is I want to go over all the areas that are going to be some kind of metallic, which is pretty much everything on him except he's got like a little I'm not worried about going over the skulls because I'll go over that later. And I'm just lightly going over all this area. There's just so much of this that's just all armor. And you can see it's just such an easy thing. This guy, you know, he looks intimidating to paint, but trust me, this is going to be one of the guys that you're going to say, hey, that guy was pretty easy, and it's going to give you the confidence to kind of go forward with some of this stuff. Now, this guy here is a little complicated, and even though we're just kind of hitting everywhere with this, we want to make sure we don't want to get it on the cloak, but he does have a little area here that there is some metallic. So I want to make sure that I get all of that. And I want to get the inside of the shield. So if this goes out of focus, one of the big problems that I'm having is getting used to this new camera. So if it goes out of focus, just forgive me, please. And what I'm doing is just working this in here. I want to work this over these areas here, and you're going to see that this is going to be pretty easy guy to do. There's some variances here that we're going to play around with, and we're going to be using some washes to bring out some of the things that we're going to do. Now I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to come back and you're going to see exactly what I am talking about very shortly. Alright, now that we let him dry a little bit, we're going to take a little Rhinox hide. That is always a good one. I hope it didn't get blurry on you. And I'm going to grab this guy, and what we want to do here is, all I want to do is just get all the furry areas. Now listen, I'm really trying not to get the metallic that I worked on, okay? That we just dry brushed. So by just doing this, because this is just a base layer that I'm putting on here, and all I want to do is just try to get it as best as I can. There's some skulls up here. If I hit them, that's okay, because we're going to be painting over that anyways. My real concern is just trying to be dead on and make sure that I do not hit any of the metallic here. And if I do, it's not a big deal. I can go over it. But again, I hate wasted motion. And that's one of the things that we are trying to prevent here by just going over this nice and lightly. And the reason we did the armor first is because it's the biggest part of him. Okay, and then we're going to touch up that armor quite a bit, and we're going to just come underneath here, and we're going to just keep working in here. So I'm going to keep going on this, and when we're done, we're going to come back and I'm going to show you what's next. I'm going to show you how this all is going to start fitting together a bit, and how we're going to start working on really creating a very unique miniature. One of the things is that I took different artwork that I saw, you know, from inside the box and so forth and so on, and really just tried to come up with something that I thought would be unique and a little bit different. All right, I'll keep on going and we'll be back. Okay, next, what we're going to use is a Sycorax bronze, and I really think this is a great undercoat. Now, it's not going to be the final coat, and I'm going to try to put about 2 layers of this on. Where this is going to sit, as you can see, I've already started, so I can show you guys. Like I said, I don't like doing these very long videos. I want to keep you interested, and I just want to show you that it's just going to go on there nice and easy. There's a couple skulls there and things like that. Don't worry about that. If you hit them, again, don't worry about it. There's some chain there. Don't worry about it. The most important thing is just staying in your lanes as best as you can and trying to get this in there. Some of that I may have to use a smaller brush, but right now, like right in here, I want to get really want to break up that metallic look. Now, this isn't going to be the final color of this. This is just what we're doing here is adding a little bit of undercoat here, because what we're going to try to do is take a little bit of Guyana gold and kind of just brush that in there, and then really kind of, you're going to see we're going to darken this very soon. And what we're going to do is we're going to work our way out again. Like I said, I like to get all my base coats, darken everything, and then work my way outwards. And you'll see that this will really come together nicely, hopefully. I could be wrong for what I see, but who knows? And that's why we just do things the way we do things. We just see how it goes and work our way through, right? And that's half the fun of it. All right, I'm going to finish this up, spreading this around, and then I'm going to show you exactly where it all went. And then basically, guess what? We're going to come back and I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. Now that we got that pretty well done, now we're going to just take some Xandri dust. Okay, very good paint. Just to get the base of the skulls, and that is what we're worried about now, is just getting these skulls. And all I want to do is just get a layer of this on here, because we're going to be darkening and then lightening, and there's a lot of skulls on this guy. This guy has done a lot of bad things, so our idea is to, yeah, that's right, try to make it shine. I mean, if you're gonna do something right. And all we're trying to do is just get this on here. I'm not worried about if I make a mistake or not, but we really want to just get all these skulls here. I mean, they're all over the place, so we're just going to get all these, and we just want a nice thin layer of it on there. You want to water it down a little bit, get a little thin, not too thin. If you have to put an extra coat on, that's not a big deal. Boy, he's got skulls all over the place. Look, there's ones on his legs, and we're just looking to get this, because it's really going to stand out in a minute when we start doing, oops, sorry about that. Hopefully you guys can see this and I'm not messing up with the new camera. If I am, please forgive me. We are, like I said, I'm really trying to learn some things here, and also paint in the same time. So especially with a new camera. All right, so I'm going to finish up these skulls, and then when I come back, you'll see all the skulls done, and then we will move on to our next part of this. Okay, next, it's time to put a little new oil on there. And what I want to do with this is I really kind of want to drown it, but not drown it. I really want to darken everything up, because there's going to be certain parts that I really want to sit up. So especially with all of this, all I want to do is just really work this in here. And you can see how we're just darkening this guy up. It's getting into those recesses that we're working on. And you see now all of a sudden that metal is starting to come out and you're starting to see things. We're going over the skulls even the brown I'm not worried about. All I want to do is really darken this guy up and really get that wash moving in these recesses. Because this is going to be a big player when we come back to this. And we're going to really get this in here. See, I'm getting it all over the place. And that's okay. That's okay, because what I really want to do is I want this dark. So when I bring this back out, you're going to be able to see all those recesses that we're working on. You're going to be able to see all the things that you couldn't see by just dry brushing or just getting this initial coat on. We really want to bring out the high detail of this incredible figure. So I'm going to finish this up, and then we're going to come back once it's dry, and then we're
okay. As you can see, he's all nice and dried up the way we want him all dried up. And you see how dark I brought him down. I really made that very dark. Sorry about my hand getting in the way, and of course, screwing this up. But you can see how I messed up the focus. Now, while it was drying, I just threw the initial bottom of the base on, which is just some sand and some glue. But it's enough to kind of get things started, because I hate wasted motion. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to use a series of dry paints. Terminus stone we're going to use. We're going to use a Necron Compound and a Sigmarite. These are dry paints, and they are perfect for dry brushing. And what I want to do is, right now I'm going to start with the Terminus stone, and all I want to do is very lightly hit the back of this fur. Okay, I don't want to do too much more than that. So I'm just going to show you so you can see how this kind of stands up and exactly where I'm trying to go here. I hit a little bit of that silver, but I'm not too worried about it. And because we're going to go over that anyways with our own dry. And you see how that just stands and makes that fur start to stand up a bit. And that's exactly what I'm looking to do. Nice and easy, no pressure, and just the slightest touch. And that seems to make the difference. Now I'm going to finish this up, and then we'll come back and we'll see what the results are and what we do next. Alright, now that we've got that squared away, okay, the next thing we want to do is we really want to, as you can see, the fur really came out the way we want it to. Exactly what we're looking for. Now it's time to take care of these skulls. And what I did is I took some Tyrant Skull, and I'm just going to very easily, because I don't want to mess this up. And this is another dry paint that you just are going to put on here, and you really want that to kind of just sit in there and just take your time. It's all about taking your time. And if you don't rush, you're going to get the desired effect that you're looking for. And that's making those skulls sit up on this guy. I mean, this he's a cold-blooded murderer, and unfortunately, we've got to paint him, right? We've got to make him look good. We've got to make him look as scary as he seems to be. And just taking and lightly going over and just getting these skulls to just stand up a little bit. And we're just doing that ever so lightly. Try not to get the paint anywhere else, but that's why we're using a dry paint, because it just goes on a lot easier. I'm trying to make sure we don't screw up anything with the thing. And as you can see, just hitting these skulls really brings them out. And that's exactly what we're trying to accomplish here. So I'm going to finish this up, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do our next step. Alright, so you can see those skulls really start to stand out a bit. Now we go to probably the most important part, is the Necron Compound.
because this is going to bring that armor out. But I don't want to bring it out too much. I just want to kind of hit certain areas. Like I really want to make sure that I'm very careful around the chain, which I want to bring out, because I don't mind making it bright, but I don't want to take away from the detail. And then down in here, I want to very lightly just kind of go over some of these plates in this mesh, because I want to keep the darkness underneath the mesh. Now for his knee pad here, I really don't mind coming and really driving that in there, because that is a focal point that we're going to be working on a little bit. And you can see he's got 2 knee pads here, and we really want to kind of make that kind of really sit up as a metallic. And nice and easy over the hilt here. Come over there. This part here, we really just want to go nice and easy. We want to get these horns and have them sit up. That's important, because we're going to be going over that gold. But really a big focal point here is this, the sword, the axe. I want to make sure that the edge of that axe really just kind of stands out. And the point, and just come into here, over the metallic that he has here, and nice and easy, so we keep that depth that we were trying to keep, and it just sits up very nicely. And we can just kind of glaze over the edges here of this gold, but you're going to see what I'm going to do with that next. The next thing, I want to start working towards this helmet, but I have another brush here, a smaller one, and usually I try to keep the dry on 2 different brushes, and I like to keep it on the smaller brush, especially when I'm coming up into areas that I've already kind of worked a little bit. I really don't want to mess those up after all the work I put into. So with this helmet here, really making that metallic come out and stand out right in there. There we go. And you see what I'm doing here. I'm just ever so lightly, the back of the blade here, we really want that blade to stand out. That's going to do some chopping, and we want to show the wear there. Okay, and really just make that blaze out there, right in the handle here, right into his fist here, into some of these areas that really just let it sit up. Look how that sits up. Isn't that beautiful? That makes me happy when it goes right. See how that, you can see where that all kind of intertwines in there, and just making that work. And this is so easy. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. If I can do it, I know you can. And that's the beauty of painting. All right, I'm going to finish this up, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do a few more things here. So I'm looking forward to it. All right, the next part is a little tricky, and you want to make sure that you get this just right. And just right it is. This is where we're going to be adding the Sigmarite. Now this is the gold, and this is going to be you really want to be careful with this, because you can really drown this out. As you can see, I'm being very, very careful and very deliberate with each brush stroke that I do. Just working that in there. And this is bringing out that breastplate that we were talking about. And just being very careful. And don't forget this down here. Let's get a little more on our brush. I got a little pile here. And we're just very easily working it around. Just working around. I want that to stand up a little bit. I don't want to lose anything here. We got his top here that he has. I don't want to hit any of the, there we go. I don't want to hit any of that breastplate that he has. The metallic part, because we worked so hard to get that right where we want to. We want to bring that out, and we're going to work that part of the shield here. All right.
And we don't mind hitting the ends. We're going to hit the halberd here. All right. And we just kind of want to work that right there a little bit. And you can see how this all just kind of sits up now. See how that, it just pops. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. I mean, this guy's out to destroy things, and that's what he does. So we want him to look that way. We want him to look fierce. And that's what we're trying to go for. Alright, we got one more thing to do, and I'm going to add a little grass here on the in-between. I'll probably put a little here and here, and you'll see it in a little bit. And then we'll come back and we'll do our last little thing, which is we're going to put a little wash in there. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do here, and then we should be pretty good. So let me move on, finish up what I'm doing here with the gold, and we'll be right back. The final thing I want to do today is I want to take some Dragonov Nightshade, and I want to break up some of this color here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shade, and all it is a wash, but it looks cool over metallic, and I want to work this. I've already put one coat in here, but I want to work this so it has a metallic feel onto his knee pad here, and up over here near where he has this plate here, I want to work it in as well, just a little bit. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us a nice variant, and it looks like they have a little bit of metallic armor there. You can even just bring some in here into this upper part here, and it'll just break up things a little bit, like this metal shield. Just a little bit of blue haze in it, and it just gives a nice effect, I think. And well, there you have it. I mean, for now, we're going to do a few more highlights, but you're going to see that in next week when we start our next guy. I'll show you the finished product of this guy, and I'm going to just turn him on his side here. Now you can add some blood for the blood gods in here. There's a couple other things that if you really want to get fancy schmancy with, you could, but right now I think he's pretty good for what we want. He looks brutal, he looks mad, he looks angry, he's got skulls all over him, and it's a pretty good start to our painting of hate. So we've got one of these guys done. We got 102 left. Big guys, I'm going to take a little more time, and then I'm going to show you how to group do the smaller warriors, and we'll get through this pretty quickly. But I did this in about an hour and change, and that's about it. Well, I'm not going to send you up top. I'm actually going to say thank you for everything. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you forgive me as I'm learning a new camera. If we went out of focus or anything, it will get better, I promise you. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We will see you soon.